This is George Paul from Cherished Keepsakes here with another behind the scenes tutorial. And hopefully we get it this time, and it does what I'm actually thinking of. This is a tutorial on how to use AI for image editing when it comes to memorial programs and other funeral stationery. So the idea is, and let me kind of walk you through this, or what we're intending to do, is this picture's cut off, and we really want to see his upper body, because when I can see his upper body, I don't have to put him in a frame like this, but I'll be able to have him kind of over here or over here, blending in with the design, and then he's going to really pop off the page. So that's what I want to do. I really don't want to put him in a frame. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this, because the long way of doing this, I mean, why don't I just stop talking and actually just start doing it? So let's talk about the first step. First step is using this AI tool called Select Subject, and it's basically going to, as you see, choose and see, hey, there's a main person here, and let me just make a selection around him. So we're going to do that. Select him, feather it so it softens the edges so that they're not hard. Copy, paste, delete the background. So now all we have is him. This is important because the less data that the AI engine has to pick from, then the better the outcome. So without any background, any blue or anything else, any people, trees, all that jazz, it makes it easier for it to determine what you're looking for. And all I want to do is be able to extend this. So now this is where I've been experimenting. Now the old way of me doing this is I would enlarge the canvas, and then I would tell the AI to do a content aware generation and generate his suit. Now I think there's a shorter step when you just use the crop tool. You make the canvas larger, and then you tell it to do a generative expand. Now that term actually means I'm going to generate and fill in all this negative space with something based on the prompt that you give me. And I'm going to generate and expand the area. So the prompt that we're going to give it is the same one that I pretty much use all the time, called content aware. And basically that's me telling it to look at the content that's there and create an expansion of it based on what you see, what you think it would look like. So let's see how this comes out. It's come out good before, but I've never documented it. So this is my first time documenting it, and it actually kind of works, as you can see. So it's given us three options here. It generated with people in the background, but it actually made his full suit. And this is probably the closest. This is probably the closest that we have here. So I'm going to try it one more time just to see if we get any closer. You can also play with the prompt, change that around, say content aware, navy blue suit, and see what you get. That's actually even better, because now that makes it a much better selection. Let's see. Nope, shoulders look too funny here. That's really good too, especially I like here because it actually gives him a little more shape rather than just being big. And I might be able to play with this. I'm going to go with this one. So now I'm going to merge these layers. Then I'm going to do another select subject, and we're going to remove that part of this selection. All we want is him. We're going to add to it here. Then we are going to go in a little closer and just smooth that out. We'll probably end up adding a smooth selection, so let's smooth this out a little bit. 7 pixels might be a little too much. Let's go 5. Then feather the edges, copy, paste. What did I just do? Oh, there we go, delete. And now we just have him. Now what we want to do is fix this. We don't want that. And we're just going to say remove badge. And let's see the result we get. Hopefully it should just remove it and fill it in with the rest of the suit, because that was a pretty straightforward prompt. And it did. Awesome. So now let's merge the layers again, and let's move into some color correcting. Auto tone, auto color, those did not help out. There's just a lot of red in his face here. And let's see, let's play with the color balance. Let's go with the midtones and add the blue. That's when it comes to doing color balance and using these slides, you want to take away until you start to see the other color that you're sliding into showing up more dominant. So as you can see, it's really starting to show up, but it's making them look a little more pale. So let's see if we could take it away from the shadows and if that will fix anything, which it does a little bit. There's a lot of blue here, so let's add some yellow. Actually, no, we want to add some of that blue into the shadows. And let's see what we can do with the levels. Now, this type of color correction isn't my full-on strength. I try to get it to where it's decent. And what we're trying to do is get these are the shadows, midtones, highlights, get it within this color range here, because that's where most of the color is. As you can see, it starts to pop a little more. And let's see if we can get rid of any of that red in the midtones. It's not sure if I'm going to get anywhere with that. We definitely need to get rid of some of that blue. There we go. And the highlights, there we go. A little more color. Nope, take that away. Okay. And let me see if there's anything I can do with the exposure. Nope, wrong one. No, actually, no. Let's go back to the vibrance. Add some saturation. We'll take some of that vibrance away, but make it a little more saturated. A little better. And what I'm trying to get is just a little bit of pop. There we go. Just a little more character depth. There we go. I want him to really pop off the page. And now let's bring this down just a little bit, get rid of some of this negative space, because that negative space adds to your file size, and that could delay printing or make it spool for a longer time. Now, that's pretty much the extent of my skill set. Of course, there's somebody else who does this all the time that can go way further than I can, but I think this is good enough. And just so that you can see how this drops in and the effect that it will have, and then we'll wrap up this video. So now we're going to open this up and drop it in. Copy. And we want want it on top of this layer. No, we want it behind that layer. Come on. And that's the effect that we were going for. Instead of having him in a frame, so now let's save as, because you never want to save over your base files. And this is Craig cover. Save this in his folder. Go back, save over the base file. Standard program that goes into his folder. And then let's drop in the proper picture, the proper cover, and let's see it all come together. Ah, yes. So now some things that I want to do some quick edits on. Let's go back to the base file. What we want is to take those two and bring them down so that we have a little more space here, because we have a lot of space that we could be playing with. So let's update the link. Perfect. So we got the Army logo because he was an Army veteran and very patriotic. So this is why we chose this design. Everything looks really nice. He's properly centered, but he's not fully centered, which is nice because it gives a little more balance. I'll go through and put in the content for the rest of the page and finish laying this out and send off the proof. And this is actually going to go out the door today, so I'll probably make a final video where a reel showing how it came out. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, definitely subscribe and follow us. And if you are a funeral home owner and you're tired of doing all these yourself, knowing that you can't produce this type of quality, if you can, good on you. But this is our job. We're trying to make sure that you stand out, strengthen your relationship with your families, and really help honor the legacies that are in both of our capable hands. Then give us a call. We'd love to help out. Wish you the best honoring the legacies in your care. Have a great one.